whether they have a big feast.
You got to get a shot of this.
Story behind Diwali.
Cultural dessert, and it's
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. I'm here with Ashwin and we're going to show you a little bit about Diwali.
Yeah, so we thought that, hey, what better place to come learn a little bit about Diwali than the oldest Indian restaurant in the city of Houston. I used to come here when I was a kid, and I couldn't be more excited about getting in there and again learning a little bit about Diwali.
Yeah, so let's go inside and check it out. Hey guys, I'm here at Raja Sweets with Sharon and Ashwin's mother. We're here to talk to y'all a bit about Indian culture, what Diwali is, and learn a little bit more about Indian cuisine.
We wanted to tell everybody here today what Diwali means. Naturally, the traditions that are associated with it. Mom, we wanted to see if you can help us tell what Diwali is. So what does it really mean? Where, what the traditions are, some of the customs. There's a lot of stories you can read about online, right? But from your perspective, what is Diwali?
First of all, I'm so privileged to talk about what is Diwali. Diwali is considered as a festival of light, but there is a story behind Diwali. I know everybody likes to think like Diwali is something about having new clothes, new food. No. It's teaching us something that is like bringing out good over evil. That is how we all need to treat each other just like that, because when our god Rama, by his stepmother, was evil enough to make the father think that he was going to get the whole property, money, everything, because his father was a big king. So they sent him to exile, and he, as a real devoted son, said, okay dad, whatever you say, that is respect, okay? Whatever you say, I will do it. And he went into exile for 14 years. And while he was in exile, he had to go through a lot of obstacles, which we need to understand that in our life, we also have to face a lot of obstacles. But we have to overcome those kind of obstacles, because this is an example showed by our Lord Almighty. We have all our children, we get them new clothes, we come to Raja Sweets to get sweets, and this is a place where I have been coming for 30 years, and I have enjoyed these sweets for all my life, even though I used to live down here, but now I live in Sugarland and I come all the way from there. It takes me almost 45 minutes, but this is the best place I have always come, and I will always come till I am alive in Houston, Texas.
Mom, thank you for sharing that. Hey, Sharon, I'm going to ask you, naturally food is a big part of Diwali, and we're all here today. We all know the history behind Raja Sweets. I've been coming here for 30 years as well, believe it or not. So from your perspective, from Raja Sweets' perspective, what do you tend to see? What do you tend to see from folks who are coming in? Even how do you celebrate from on your own, and also from a business perspective, right? And I'll even add in, there are events that happen around town. So I'm just curious, how does Raja Sweets participate in a Diwali celebration around town?
So Diwali is a big celebration. The community comes together, not just from Houston, but we see a lot of customers from Dallas, Austin, because we're one of the only places in Texas that makes sweets fresh from scratch. Auntie was mentioning, Diwali is a celebration. We go through a lot of sweets. Honestly, last year we estimated about 25,000 pounds of sweets.
Wow.
And everybody, that if you're going to your neighbor's house, you're going to your family member's house, everybody wants a box of fresh sweets, and there's like a big extravagant meal celebrated with it as well. But sweets play a very important part in the entire celebration.
Sharon, what are some of the foods that are associated with Diwali? And if you're a first timer coming to Raja's, what would you recommend getting?
So Sean, I set up a sneak peek of what the table should look like at Diwali. So we have sweets, we have snacks, we have food. We have so many options here at Raja Sweets. We have meat, we have vegetarian food. Our naans are vegan. So there's a lot of variety. Usually when families get together, they have a big feast and then everything's followed up by fresh sweets. This is kind of a sample of that. So some of the most popular sweets here, we're gonna be a laddu. We have gulab jamun. Laddu's made out of flour, like chickpeas flour. And the gulab jamuns are kind of like these honey donuts. I mean, that's the best way to describe them. They're sugar, flour, and they're soaked in rose water, which gives them a unique taste. And then here we have jalebi, which is like fried sugar, basically. I mean, I call it like an Indian funnel cake almost. So the jalebi is a very cultural dessert, and it's made from all-purpose flour. They add a little bit of baking soda in it and water to create the texture. And then they fry it. And once it's fried, then they soak it in sugar. And that's hot sugar. And then the sugar is what creates the sweetness. So it's a very popular dessert. I mean, there's even a song after it, Jalebi Baby.
Houston's best jalebi.
So once it is cooled a little bit, then they stack it, layer by layer until they get to 10 pounds or 15 pounds. And then, once it's in a box, it goes to the consumer. As you can see her packing it. And then we have a good selection of burfies, which we have 12 different kinds. We have like coconut, chocolate, almond. These are really popular as well. Here we have gulab jamun stuffed with cream. We have mango peras. And then when you get to snacks, we have our pakora, which is gonna be fried fritters that like spinach, onion, potatoes put together. And then we have our samosas, which is like a puff. It's almost like an Indian empanada. It's the best way to describe it. And it's stuffed with peas and potatoes. It's amazing. It comes with like a dipping sauce. And so this is generally what everybody likes to start with.
Thanks for sharing that, Sharon. I'm a big foodie. Yes. I also saw that we have these diyas here. Could you explain what that symbolizes from your perspective? And also, I just want to point out that Diwali is celebrated around the world, where anywhere Indians are present, which is in a lot of places. My family's from Singapore, but we are Indian. But as you can see, a lot of these foods I have enjoyed in a lot of different places during Diwali. So the diyas.
So the diyas celebrate, it's generally called Festival of Lights. If you Google it, that's the first thing that's gonna come up is Festival of Lights. And we decorate our homes, outside of our homes or our business, with these little lights. And they represent good over evil. A new beginning, a fresh start. Diwali is Festival of Lights. And it's kind of like an Indian New Year.
All right, I'm here with Ashwin. We've got a plate full of goodies, which Sharon set up for us. And we've got basmati rice, some palak paneer, goat curry, some pakora curry, which is vegetarian, and butter chicken. First off, I want to take a bite of the goat curry. Ooh, so good looking. It's not too spicy for those that might not be used to spice, so give this one a try. The goat is really fresh, really taste, just the flavors that are put into this food. A lot of people think Indian food's really spicy, but it's not always. But give this one a try if you love goat.
So I'll tell you, I've been coming here for about, 30 years. I remember our go-to was these two. So the goat curry and the pakora curry. But I'll tell you though, you gotta get a shot of this. This was their signature side dish, or whatever you want to call it, but it's basically this pickled carrot that they serve with all of their dishes. And I'm not kidding, like it became so addictive that I'll just be random part of town and I'm like, man, I gotta go get that the carrots. It is so good. And again, and Rogers is the only one that does this. Like you don't see this at any other Indian restaurants out there, and you gotta come check it out. So I'm gonna go right in on the Oh, so good. Try it.
Easy way to get your veggies in. Huh?
There you go.
That's really flavorful. Going to the left here is my favorite vegetarian curry, I would say. This is spinach with paneer cheese. And I actually like to have this though with naan, which we have right here. You just break off a piece, a bowl of this and naan, and I'm in heaven. Oh, it's so flavorful. And I've been coming here from probably 30 years as well, to be honest.
So I'm gonna go in on the samosas and the pakora. So Sharon earlier talked to us about samosas. It's basically an Indian empanada stuffed with, whatever. You can have a veggie version of it, so it's potatoes and peas. Some of them actually have meat, but it looks like these are the vegetarian ones. So here I go. Oh, so good. I'm gonna wait on the pakoras. Pakoras are basically fried vegetables. So a lot of times they have onions or spinach. Like there's different types out there. I think these are the onion ones. So they're just as good.